What is your relationship like with your desires? Do you know what you want? More important, can you feel, can you sense your desire for the things that you want? When you can, the drive to fulfill those desires is an essential source of aliveness, of life force. It motivates you, it shows you what's worth pursuing, what's worth moving towards, and so it informs your moment-to-moment decisions every day of your life. So it's incredibly important to have a deep relationship with our own desires, to be able to feel them. In no realm is this more important than in the realm of sexual desires, in particular in their expression in sexual fantasies. Sexual fantasies are so important because they override a bunch of our mental functions of the superego that tell us what's okay to want and what's not okay to want, who it's okay for us to be and who it's not okay for us to be. Instead, they plug us directly in to the primal erotic source of our life force. They give us a direct sense of the things that the deepest parts of us most wish and long for. And so sexual fantasies can motivate us in particularly important ways. The problem is that most of us are distracted by a particular element of our sexual fantasies. And so when we try to fulfill them, we are trying to fulfill the wrong thing. We miss out on the gem. Rather than try to explain this to you, let's just go ahead and take a moment to have a sexual fantasy together. It'll have to be your fantasy because it's going to have all the qualities of your most potent, compelling sexual fantasies, and I will just talk you through the process. So first, select a fantasy, one that is recurring for you or one that's currently alive for you because there's somebody in your life who you desire so strongly. Choose a fantasy and take a moment to set the scene. Now, not all of you need to be told to do this, but not everyone has sexual fantasies in the same way. Some people set the scene and then they move through the scene as a slow unfolding sequence of events, like a scene in a movie. Other people just find themselves in the midst of all of those events happening all at once. It's kind of timeless. You're just in the middle of it. So if you're one of those people, I want to ask you just for this time to slow it down a little bit, to back up and set the scene of the fantasy. Notice where it's happening. What are the circumstances where you're about to have this very exciting and fulfilling experience? But in particular, notice who's there. Who is it that you desire? Who is the object of desire in your fantasy? Maybe one person, maybe more than one person. But of course, you're going to pay attention to them. There's a lot of focus that we put on the object of our desire. So now go ahead and start the scene. Let yourself move into the fantasy. Let it start to happen. And notice what about it is so exciting. What's so compelling? What is it that makes you feel most alive about it? And in particular, notice what the object of your desire is like. How are they being with you? What are they doing to you? What are they letting you do to them? What's the quality in them that makes them so compelling, that makes you want to focus so much on them? And now just pause your fantasy for a moment. Just pause it. We'll come back to it. I want you to instead, for a moment, of focusing on the object of your desire, to notice that that person is not actually here right now, that they're completely and wholly manufactured in your imagination, and it's just you here. It's you who's doing the desiring. And so I want you to sense the quality of desire in you. You are the agent, you are the source of desire, and allow yourself to feel your own desire. Just claim it and own it as yours. It doesn't belong to the other person in the fantasy, it belongs to you. So now with this sense of your own desire as something that you own, your own energy, go back, press the play button again, let the fantasy roll, and get to the most exciting parts of it. But as you do so, be the person who is the one doing the desiring, not merely the person focusing on the object of desire. And if you do so, you will start to notice not just what the other person in the fantasy is like, but what you are like in the fantasy. Who do you get to be in the fantasy? Are there qualities of yours that you get to express and explore that you don't normally allow yourself to express and explore in your daily life? Are there ways that you get to be that you don't normally get to be? Are there qualities of the experience you get to immerse and luxuriate in that you don't normally allow yourself to immerse or luxuriate in? now that you've got a little bit of a sense of what those are, let's apply it to the particular fantasy that you have. So perhaps you've got a fantasy in which you just have free reign, full permission to do exactly what you want with someone or to someone. You get to take your virility, your passion, your unbridled energy and desire and act on it and do something with somebody or to somebody that you've always wished you can do. Right? And so what you get to be in that is passionate, virile, uninhibited, fully self-expressed, full permission. That's a quality that you get to enjoy. That's who you get to be in the fantasy. Perhaps you have a fantasy in which someone is dominating you. They're totally taking control. They're pinning your hands behind your head and pleasuring you in a way that all you can do is surrender. And so you just have to give in. You just have to surrender to somebody else taking care of everything for you. And that's part of who you get to be in that fantasy. You get to be surrendered. You get to let go. You get to receive and not have to worry about anybody else or doing anything for anyone else. Maybe you have a fantasy in which the most important quality of it is just that there's somebody who wants you, who you've wished would want you. And so you can sense how desirable you are. And the whole time, whatever it is that you're doing together, you can just tell that them wanting you makes you something that you aren't otherwise, because you can tell you're desirable, not merely worthy, not merely wanted, but there's something about your essential nature that is desirable by another. So just luxuriate in that quality. That's the quality you get to have. Okay, now just let's stop the fantasy if you're still in the middle of it, and just come back to the quality of who you get to be in the fantasy. And see if you can allow yourself to sense that quality in your body right now. Maybe it's your virility and uninhibited passion. Maybe it is your surrendering and letting go and receiving and not worrying about anybody else. Maybe it is your being able to sense that you are deeply desirable to your core in mind and body. Let yourself feel that quality and take a few breaths. Breathe into it. Notice where it lives in your body. Notice how you experience it as sensations, and let yourself feel it even more. You get to have it right now. You don't need to wait to have any particular experience with anybody else in order to have it. Just see if you can allow yourself to notice what it's like to experience those qualities already, which you're doing right now without anybody else around, and maybe take them even further. You know, if this is about passion and virility, maybe this is really about you getting to be your whole animal self, not having to be structured so much around accomplishments or productivity or work or whatever it is that you think your life is supposed to be about. Instead, you get to follow your animal nature. You get to be primal. You get to let yourself feel all those deep feelings that you've buried or, pressed underground. You allow them to be unearthed. Maybe that's who you get to be. This is about surrender and letting go. Take it further. Maybe there are places in your life where you just want to be able to tell that you're safe, that it's okay, that you can just finally stop, that you don't have to work so hard or try so hard anymore, that you can just already right now just experience bliss, rapture, ecstasy, just being in the moment. If you're noticing that your fantasy is about being desirable, take that further. Right? Is this about being able to tell at your core level that you are worth taking up space in the world, right? That you are a being that others wish to be around? And if you can sense that is true, then you can sense that maybe you wish to be around yourself. Can you let yourself enjoy yourself? Can you pause everything and just enjoy being alive, being in pleasure, experiencing beauty, that maybe you never let yourself pause and enjoy? It's not merely some superficial quality that you get to experience in these fantasies. It's deeply important. These are pointing you towards aspects of your life that need to be expressed. And right now, you can start to let yourself fully feel them with nobody else around and nothing actually happening. You can try to fulfill your sexual fantasies by actually attaining the object of your desire and doing the things with them that you've imagined. But that might not work out so well, because those are fantasy people. They're in your imagination. Real people are different. Real people are messy. Real people have their own desires that might compete with yours or be different. There's awkwardness in reality. There are all these things that might not allow you to actually get to the thing that you get to when it's just your fantasy. And so to really fulfill all your sexual fantasies means allowing yourself to be the kind of person that you are in those fantasies, embodying the qualities that you get to embody in the fantasies, letting yourself fully become that person. And you can do it now without anyone else around and figure out what it would mean to move from that quality, to make decisions from that way of being as a person. Now, you may be someone who doesn't actually have sexual fantasies. Not everyone does. Some people don't have a perfectly active sexual life, but just don't fantasize. Some people don't feel sexual desire at all. This can be done with any kind of positive interpersonal fantasy you have. Any fantasy you have for something that you wish could happen in interaction with other people is an equally good place to explore these qualities of who do you get to be in the fantasy, what are the qualities you get to fully embody for yourself. So, remember, start with the object of desire because they get you in touch with what it is that you want. Then at some point, drop the object of desire and sense yourself as the source of desire. Then notice who you get to be in the fantasy and allow yourself to experience those qualities. You can go through that whole sequence in 30 seconds in your head when you're in the elevator on your way to work, when you're in the car, anytime, as a reminder to yourself of what it is that you wish to be, what it is that you are when you have fulfilled your deepest desires.